Hey everyone, Sean O'Neill here. Now, today we are catching up on 10 of my favorite assembly enhancements from the last few releases of SOLIDWORKS Design. So we're going to be talking what changed, how it works, and of course, how it's going to affect the way that you work today. All right, so if you work with assemblies inside of SOLIDWORKS Design, you already know performance is essentially everything. And I realize that you don't want features that look cool once in a video and will probably never make it into your daily workflows. But here's the thing. Over the past few releases, I think SOLIDWORKS Design has delivered some serious wins in that department. If you haven't updated SOLIDWORKS in a while, your assemblies are going to open faster, going to rebuild smarter, and in some ways, which I'll explore in this video, they're even going to repair themselves when your mates go sideways. Without further ado, let's get rolling. Number one, improved open times. Okay, so we got to start by talking about one of the areas that everyone notices, which is performance. Between 2022 and 2024, assemblies got dramatically faster to open. Like in some cases, we're talking going to seconds from minutes. And on that topic, here's a quick tip actually. So if you look at the open diagnostics area now, which is that little box that shows up as you're opening an assembly, it helps to identify two big things. One, which components are slowing things down, and two, which mates, if any, are slowing things down. It's one of those areas that can seem pretty invisible to you, but once you notice, it has the potential to help you every single day. Number two, automatic resolve mode. So back in 2023, SOLIDWORKS Design got smarter about how it opens your assemblies. The new automatic resolve mode, it's basically deciding when to exercise or use lightweight mode for you. So you don't need to be an expert necessarily now on which modes to load your model in. There's no more manual toggling there that's needed. In essence, how does this help you? Well, you get to keep performance gains without having to give up full detail that resolve mode brings in whenever it's required, but that's just it. You leave it to the software to help you load it in when you tell it by virtue of trying to access something that it is required. Okay, so best of both worlds there. Number three, save as previous release. Backwards compatibility. Those are two words that SOLIDWORKS users, I'm sure, have uttered many times. It's finally arrived for assemblies, parts, and drawings. You can now save your assembly back up to 2 prior versions and include all of its references, all of its sub-assemblies, its parts, its drawings in one go. What does this mean? Well, you don't have to have any more file version or SOLIDWORKS version standoffs with your teammates or your suppliers, which I've been there. I know it happens. Number four, copy with mates. One of, in my opinion, the most underrated tools inside of SOLIDWORKS Design just got better in 2025. So in 2025, what happened? Well, copy with mates, they started supporting advanced and mechanical mates, things like slot mates, gear mates, screw mates, and hinge relationships. So what this helps you do is it helps you reuse your design intent that you've established in a pre-created mate across assemblies way more powerfully. Number five, import filtering. Now, if you've ever worked with a massive step file assembly just to work with like one bracket or just one part, this is the feature that you are looking for. You can filter your step imports by component, which allows you to bring in only what you need without waiting for the rest of the stuff that you're inevitably just going to delete anyway. That is a massive win. Number six, auto repair mates. Mate errors happen, right? It's part of having a constraint solver inside of CAD software, right? It's just a reality. But I will say, in 2024, we did add a tool called Auto Repair Mates. Essentially, it's a one-click way to potentially detect and fix your broken mates even after replacing components where some of the edge IDs or face IDs might not directly match up. Those areas where you'll look at a model and a set of mates that seem to have erred and think, hey, I can look at it right away and I can tell that these parts are similar and that mate shouldn't have broken. Number seven, rules-based defeaturing. Defeature isn't just manual anymore. I mean, defeature, that tool to simplify and take out IP, sensitive IP from your data sets, that's been in the software for a while, but we've made it more automated and more replicable across your data sets. So essentially what it does, as you can see here, it lets you define and set logic for things like which components stay detailed and which simplify automatically. In essence, it's a smarter way to protect your IP in these scenarios and to boost performance if you're going to be defeaturing a bit often. Number 8, fastener automation. This one is a fan favorite. It's gotten a lot of claps in virtual and in-person rooms that I've discussed it in so far. It's a very new feature. It just came out in a recent release of SOLIDWORKS Design 2025 fastener automation. So using some AI here, it's going to be able to recognize holes and then automatically insert and mate nuts, bolts, washers. Now, here's the thing. They aren't necessarily toolbox parts. They aren't even necessarily SOLIDWORKS parts. You can do this with non-native files like step files or Parasolid files. In a way, you could think of it pretty much as like your assembly assistant, faster, more consistent hardware application with fewer clicks. You don't even have to hold a keyboard shortcut or anything like that. Number 9, phase-based revisioning with cloud services. So if you have SOLIDWORKS Design, you have cloud services, period. It's accessible to you. I've incorporated one of my favorite enhancements from cloud services in recent releases, and that's phase-based revisioning in this video. So if you manage design life cycles, this new revision system is potentially a really huge deal for you in terms of automating processes. So with phase-based revisioning, essentially what you're doing is you're defining revision schemes based on life cycle stages. So I think the prototype phase of a design, the release phase, really any phase, they can each have their own numbering scheme, naming scheme, lettering scheme within your revisions. One thing that I think is really exciting about this is that it potentially cuts down on internal knowledge transfer, right? If you have a system that's doing this for you, there are less conversations, less training, less retraining on appropriate protocol, and less chance for mistakes. Number 10, selective loading. Selective loading is potentially a real game changer, especially if you're using large assemblies. So if you're using SOLIDWORKS Design, you can now open filtered selections of large assemblies directly into SOLIDWORKS Design without having to really add any project structure whatsoever. So think if you have a large assembly like the one you see here, this Premier data set, you just want a subsystem of it, you just want a few key components so you can mate them properly, so that you can measure them properly, so that you can add just those into a drawing without loading the entire thing or adding another assembly just to do these sort of common tasks, right? So what this allows you to do is you can pull them in fast and skip the load time for the rest of the assembly. It's like those two worlds, that world of control and that world of speed, and you kind of mash them together. And that's really what selective loading gives you. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you at the next SOLIDWORKS user group meeting.